Now, one thing to note, in the ear, isn't pointed at that. What the hell was that? Howdy folks, and welcome back. You know what annoys me? A lot of things, but one thing that really annoys me about gear is camouflage knives. It's like the one piece of gear that if I drop it, I'm kind of, I need that piece of gear, and why not make it brightly colored, or at least not camouflage? It kind of makes some degree of sense on a tactical knife that's, you know, going on your sheath, on your belt or something like that, something like that's going to be exposed. But for a folding knife, like, I want that thing to glow in the dark practically. I want to be able to see it from 100 yards. So here's some things that I've come up with to stop losing my gear quite as often in the forest. One of the first things is, in your pack, put everything needs a home. And if something isn't at home, you need to know where is it? It's not here. Like, say the top compartment is for my camera gear, and I unzip it and go, well, okay, where's the pouch that holds the camera itself? Oh, it's in my pocket. Okay, that makes sense. Anyway, just everything needs a home, and it makes your pack a whole lot easier to pack too. Well, let's get right into how I make things much more visible. So this all kind of started with shooting arrows. I mean, I'm a pretty good shot, but my target kind of sucks. So sometimes the arrow either goes through the target or beside the target, and I'm, you know, stretching out for range with a recurve bow. I shoot out to 60 yards, and you're going to miss shooting 60 yards with a recurve bow on occasion. It's hard to get dialed in. So the thing that I've done here is, first off, brightly colored fletching. You don't want something that's going to, even reds and oranges can blend in certain times of the year. So you want something that's going to stand out for as many seasons as possible. I think this lime yellow green it's not too bad. It's pretty good. If I had my choice, I'd make that one purple, but white does stand out pretty good. And then I've taken tenacious tape, and I'll show you that in just a second. Stick-on tape, you can buy it like outdoor stores. And this stuff is reflective. And when you have your little headlamp on at night, I've lost my arrow, and I have an idea of where the arrow is, but not exactly, like maybe it's buried underneath the grass. If I go out there with that headlamp on, knowing, I don't know, maybe, you know, 100 square feet where it might be, actually probably more than that, probably more like I could find it in 1,000 square feet, and that little reflector will glow. I mean, it absolutely catches the light, and it's like, bingo, there's my arrow underneath the grass. Pull it out, and I stop losing arrows that way. But there's other things too. If you're doing parachute cord lanyards, first off, make sure you're using actual parachute cord. This is from the company Atwood Rope Manufacturing out of Ohio. It's USA made stuff. It's the actual 550 cord. It is fantastic stuff. All right, make sure that you're getting something that's you know, not gonna blend in certain seasons. I picked purple. Purple's not bad. It does stand out, but it's a little dark. The yellowish green is really good, but it gets dirty pretty easy. So once it gets dirty, it kind of blends back in. I'd say the pink's probably the best as far as the stand out, and it doesn't get too dirty, and it washes out easier than the yellow. But honestly, one of the three, they're all pretty good. I'm sure there's others that are pretty good as well. So on my saw, this is an important piece of kit. I have that pink lanyard. Now, that one's been through several washings. It's been on there for a couple of months, so it's a little dingy. That's okay. It's still pretty visible. The other thing is I've got more of that reflective tape on the back of the saw. So if I lay that thing down, well, there's half a chance that reflector's pointed at me. It might be the other way, but the saw is also kind of shiny, so that helps. The same applies to my GPS. Another lanyard on it in the pink because it stands out. And this is something else. I mean, like a dull black item like this blends in pretty easily with rocks down on the ground. Yeah, lanyard's an important piece of that. So here's my compass with just a regular lanyard, because the idea is that this can then go onto my pack strap. I should probably replace that with something more brightly colored, but it's just been on there for a while and haven't messed with it. You can see how much more that blends in than that. So this even applies to my camera mounts. Kind of built this camera mount out because I wanted something that I could clip onto a tree limb and put my headlamp on there, as well as the camera, clip it on all different things. Why not? Why not put the reflective tape on that? That way you don't lose it. One thing is, if you are doing the YouTube thing and your camera's pointed at it at night, that stuff can blow a shot maybe. Like if what your headlamp was on it and you've got all this reflective stuff, it's going to stand out big time. So pay attention to that. If you're leaving an area, you know, you've taken things out of your pack, whether you stopped for lunch, whether you stopped for overnight, let's say you did stop camp there overnight, walk back. You've checked your pack over, you're pretty sure everything's in its home. Take your headlamp, if it's still dark enough to use it, and do a sweep over the area. And just kind of sweep your eyes back and forth over. These are the places that I went while I was here. And is there anything? And where would I set something to? Would I set it on top of that stump over there? Oh, did I lean something up against the back of it? Okay, good. I've got everything. I'm good to go. Let's head out. The first thing that I experimented with was this truck reflective tape. They sell this at like Walmart. It's not cheap, but it's the idea is like, you know, put it down the side of a trailer and things like that. It's okay, but it's not nearly as sticky as the Tenacious tape. It's also a lot stiffer. It is pretty reflective, I'll give it that. That's what I originally did my wooden arrows up with. And not as good as the Tenacious tape, but if this is all you could find, it will work. And this is the Tenacious tape for comparison. It's a whole lot more flexible. And it's not cheap either. It's like $10 a roll, but you get a fair amount. You can do a lot of things, you know, a lot of things with one roll. I haven't even been through one roll yet, so. And the same goes with my ferro rod. And on this one, I've got the purple, and the orange stands out big time. Now, with my ferro rod, it gets worn right here on my Leatherman. So if it goes missing, I notice it pretty quickly. It has a home, that's where it resides. Also, a little bit of that reflective tape on the back of it. So it's kind of the combination of all three. Brightly colored orange thing, which that is not original to the ferro rod. The purple lanyard, which stands out, as well as the reflector. That can apply to things like, this is a match safe. I have tea because I planned on putting tallow in this for the upcoming survival trip. But anyway, orange, harder to lose. Now snare wire, maybe you don't want it to stand out, maybe you do. So that's what kind of have a mix here. This stuff here blends in pretty good. This is somewhere in the middle. This stuff stands out fairly well. Maybe animals would be picky about sticking their heads in a red snare, I don't know. And that Tenacious tape is actually tenacious enough that you can stick it on a Leatherman tool, like my Surge here, and it'll stay there for a good long while. It's starting to peel off, but it's been months. And that way, no matter where I lay the tool, I got the reflectivity. And another thought that I had was if I dropped this, you know, like in some water, yeah, I'm out there fishing and it goes over, well, that reflectivity might shine with a headlamp on it when nothing else will. The other option might be just to polish the tool. So on the Super Tool here, I thought about just taking like a place on it and just taking it down to mirror image. I haven't done it yet, but that's kind of my idea. But the Tenacious tape works probably just as good, except the mirror image. The mirror finish would be permanent until it starts getting scratched off. All right, that's all I got for you today. Catch you later.